Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome back to another guide video for Marvel Strike Force. Now tonight we will be looking at the new feature that's been introduced to the game. That's the Stark Tech donations and the alliance leveling as well. I've had quite a lot of requests to run over this, so I've had a good look at it today and I've hopefully got my head around how it works and how you are best to actually spend your points as well. Now in the video we will have three sections. The first one I'll actually show off the three different tiers of donations, and I've worked out how much you can actually gain per day depending on your donation. We'll then have a look at the table of the different costs, because when you actually increase your Stark Tech it goes up in cost as well, so I'll show that off. And then finally we'll look at each of the 5 categories you can put points into. That would be Bio, Mystic, Skill, Tech and also Mutant. And then what I'll do is I'll actually let you know the top 2 stats I would recommend that you actually level for each of these different categories. But we'll start off by looking at the 3 different tiers that are available for donations. So we have 3 different tiers here, and it's not a massive amount of difference in what you actually get for each of them, considering the difference in cost. Now the basic tier, and that's the one most players including myself will be using, you donate 10,000 gold per day. As a result of that you actually get 460 alliance credits, which is really pretty nice, and overall for your entire alliance, if everyone puts this in, then you'll walk away with 3,120 overall alliance XP. Now for the premium, this costs 125 cores. Personally, that would give you 610 alliance credits, and overall for the alliance you would see a total gain of 3,840 alliance XP. Finally you have the elite tier, which is without a doubt one for the whales. This costs a whopping 500 cores. You would walk away with 740 alliance points per day if you were to stump up the 500 cores, and also you'll be looking to gain 4,560 overall alliance XP per day as well there. Now what we'll do next, we'll have a look at the actual table where it's broken down, and you can see how when you increase levels of Stark Tech the cost actually goes up as well. So we have 20 levels available then for the Stark Tech upgrades, and the way you actually upgrade them is using the alliance credits that we broke down in the last section there. Now on top of that, to actually go up in each specific area of the Stark Tech you need your alliance level to hit a certain cap as well. So let's say you want to go up to Stark Tech level 10, we can see your alliance has to actually be level 34 for that. Now the 5 stats in question, we can see it's your hit points or health, damage, armor, focus and resistance, and each level you go up in Stark Tech is a flat 1% boost, so characters that have a higher amount of a stat will see more of a gain. So for that reason, in my opinion, what I think it's worthwhile doing is actually boosting stats that characters are already good at. For example, pumping up Iron Man's damage even more, or putting Drax's health up even higher, rather than trying to pull up characters that have a low stat and make them a jack of all trades of sort, because what will happen is you'll simply be getting a lower gain because their stat base is lower in the first instance there. Now I'll also mention the fact that you look, each of the numbers under the 5 stats is going up. So hit points, for example, starts at 170 alliance credits, but when you're way up to level 20 it's 380 alliance credits. So for that reason I would say it's worth picking some of the earlier skills rather than going too deep into any lanes straight away there. Now with all that covered, what we'll do is we'll now break down the 5 different classes. So with each of these 5 different types we have to show off here, I'll bring up all the characters that fall into each particular type. Then what I'll actually do is I'll remove the majority of characters that aren't actually that useful and you wouldn't worry about boosting their stats. So that by and large will be minions and Scientist Supreme of course. And then what I'll do is I'll highlight each of the characters and I'll let you know the top 2 stats that I would recommend actually upgrading for that particular skill tree. So this was a nice easy one. This is the bio characters, and if you're looking at them you can see there's a lot of tanky characters here, so let's check out what we would upgrade. So the stat I would recommend focusing on for this particular tree would be health and armor. If we look at the characters that would gain from both of those stats, you've got Cap, Drax, Groot, Hulk and also Luke Cage. Winter Soldier actually also has really pretty decent health and armour for a blaster class as well, and then finally you have Miss Marvel and Venom that have got huge health pools, so we can really gain from that health stat as well. So this will be your tree you upgrade if you're needing some tanky protector class characters. Now the next tree we'll look at will be the Mystic one. So we have 16 characters in total here that have the Mystic tag, and you've got a lot of really strong characters that players will be using at end game. So let's actually check out and see what characters we would remove and what characters we would focus on for the two stats here. So the two stats I would say you want to actually put your points into first for this particular tree would be focus and damage, because you've got a ton of characters here that can actually cast debuffs, and you've got some characters that can put out a huge amount of damage as well. Now talking about damage, Black Panther, the higher damage he has, the more chance he has of chaining. Elektra, the damage can really help out her ultimate. Iron Fist, you've got his ultimate, and you've also got Thanos, Thor and Yondu, who can all hit really hard as well. When we look at the focus, this is really important for Doctor Strange, Mordo, Scarlet Witch, Thanos and also Yondu as well, because they're either applying debuffs or they're able to actually cleanse taunts and cleanse buffs, and you actually need higher focus in order to do that as well. So the two stats you're looking for Mystic would be focus and damage. Now the next one we'll look at will be the skill characters. For the skill type characters then, we actually have a lot of minions here, but whereas in the previous trees I've removed the majority of the minions, here I'll be keeping most of them, because this particular skill tree actually includes the shield characters and we know how strong they are at the moment. So let's have a look at the two stats we would prioritise here and which characters are relevant to these stats. So we really do have a lot of characters highlighted for this particular tree. Now the two stats I would say you want to prioritise first would be damage and health. Now damage would be for Bullseye, Gamora, Blade Master, Hawkeye, Nick Fury due to all the counters he gets, Punisher, he's fantastic damage wise now, Shield Assault and also the Shield Trooper due to all the assists that character gets as well. When we look at the health stat, characters that would benefit from this would include Kingpin. He has a massive health pool, I think it's not far off 100,000 if it doesn't break that. You've got the Mercenary Riot Guard, you have Night Nurse. The higher her health pool, the more she'll actually heal for. And then finally you've got the rather beefy Shield Security as well there. So this is a tree that if you're lucky enough to actually unlock Nick Fury, it could be worthwhile focusing on this tree, because you could see some really nice gains on the shield team that's massively powerful as it is already. Now the next skill set we'll look at is one that's got the highest amount of characters. This would be the tech skill set. So this tree here then, as mentioned, it does have a huge amount of characters within it, but we can actually knock a great deal of them out straight away due to the high amount of minions there are. So let's actually have a look and see what two stats we would prioritise and what characters we would remove. So this tree, without a doubt, is probably my most fun tree in the game, and it's one that's all about dealing damage. On top of that, a lot of the characters here as well actually have very high armour, if not some of the highest armour ratings in the game. So the two stats you want to boost here, of course, would be damage and armour. Now Crossbones, he would benefit from both. Same goes for Iron Man. Korath would benefit from the high damage. Rocket's the same, he just gains from the damage, not so much from the armour. Star-Lord gains from the damage and the armour, same with Ultron, and then finally when it comes to Vision, he's got really high armour, so he can benefit from that as well there. So that's damage and armour you would want to use for this awesome tree here. Now the final one we'll look at is a really short one. This will be the mutant skill set. So this will be a skill set that will likely see some big changes in the near future, because we know a lot of Brotherhood of Mutant characters are coming to the game, but at the moment we only have 5 characters in there unfortunately. So let's check out what stat we should prioritise. So looking at the limited pool of characters here then, it was pretty easy to decide what two stats I would focus on. It would be damage and health, the reason being that Cable, Deadpool and Wolverine all have pretty high damage. You want to pump that even higher. It's the same when it comes for their health as well. The health can work especially well with Wolverine and Deadpool due to the passive percent of health they can actually regain. And then finally, in a way, Storm does benefit from the health because she is a bit squishy and you want to keep her up to get that ultimate off, and that's where the damage comes in. It'll make that ultimate hit even harder as well. Now what I'll actually quickly do, just to finish up the video in case I've lost you at any point, I'll run over the 5 different trees and what 2 stats you want to prioritise with. So the first tree we talked about today, this was the bio class, so if you are needing some pretty beefy protector classes, this is the one to go for, and you want to be upgrading health and also armour. The next skill set we looked at was the Mystic characters. These are all about controlling the fight and debuffing the enemy, and you want to focus on focus, funnily enough, and also damage as well here. Now next up we have the skill tree. So this is the tree that if you've unlocked Nick Fury, it could be worthwhile putting your points into here first, and you would want to prioritise with damage and health stats to see the best gains. You then have my favourite tree, which is the tech tree. So much fun this one, the amount of damage you can put out, and that's why you would prioritise damage and also armour. And then finally, if you are a huge fan of the X-Men, then you would go for the mutant tree and you would upgrade damage and health with them. You'll be seeing the least amount of gains due to the limited character pool that is available at the moment. So if you need protectors, go for your bio. If you need a bit more control, you're going for Mystic. If you have Nick Fury, go for skill. If you want to pump out a ton of damage, go for tech. And again, finally, if you're a big X-Men fan, then go for the mutant skill tree and upgrade that first there. But that's everything covered. I hope this video has been helpful. I need to go now because my voice, I can feel it's just about to go because it's just getting a bit better and I don't want to push it and lose it again. So thanks as always for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.